ladies and gentle people. We are back once again, as you can tell by my stream title and the YouTube title. We're back for Redline Racing League Monday League driver introductions for season number 2. Very excited to get Monday back rolling again. And well, let's get right into it, shall we? Alright. We'll start off with the OP Mercedes. And well, this driver lineup is actually it's pretty decent, I must say. We have Zombie Hunter 44 and DRC Jared in the Mercedes, and well, Zombie, I don't think Zombie did last Monday. He did the Saturday league, I do believe. But now Zombie's doing Monday. Could be a potential constructors battle on here. And with DRC Jared, well, he started full time and then he went to reserve, I think pretty much after Hungary. So I mean, I hope he stays for the whole season, because a constructors fight with Mercedes, especially what we've got coming up after, it's gonna be absolutely fantastic to see. So Mercedes with Zombie and DRC Jet, I expect them to be fighting constructors. Drivers, it's hard to say. They both can be driver champions, but I don't know. I guess Jared more so, because he loves racing no matter what. Zombie is yeah, he's a bit, yeah. I think Jared might take this season a little bit more seriously than Zombie, but I think for constructor's position, I'm thinking top 3 minimum. If they fall below the top 3, I have no words. For drivers, I'm gonna say Zombie will finish. I'm gonna say Zombie will finish in the top 10, but I don't know where. Looking at the drivers that we've got currently, Zombie's got to be top 5 surely, considering who's on the grid and who's not. With Jared, I expect him to be at the top. Jared top 3 minimum as well. So yeah, I think that's the drivers, and as I said, Mercedes has to be top 3 in the constructors as well, considering who's on the grid and who's not. But that's Mercedes. We'll move on to a Ferrari. And here we are with the lovely Majestic Ferrari car, I should say, not Majestic. Yeah, whatever. So this driver lineup is it's an interesting one. It's given me last season vibes a little bit. We have Cabba Oz and I'm Death Row 02, and Ferrari finished last in the constructors season last season. They finished behind McLaren, who had like 1,700 driver changes. It was absolute scenes at that team, and Ferrari couldn't finish ahead of them. McLaren beat them in the constructors last season. But Cabba was returning to the Ferrari, and he's got a new teammate this time in I'm Death Bro. So I'm thinking Ferrari might be mid-table if Deathbro stays the entire season and does all the races and has good luck. Ferrari can be definitely mid-table. Cabot Oz can nab a few points here and there, but I think mid-table for Ferrari. I'm thinking, oh, what's mid-table like? I don't think they'll be the fourth best team. And I think I'd say they're probably in the range of 4 to 6. Yeah, I think 4 to 6 in that group of cars, maybe. It depends on Deathbro really if he does all the races all season long. But yeah, Calbo he can nab a few points here and there. So I'm thinking mid-table for Ferrari. In the drivers, I'm thinking Calbo in the top half of the bottom 10 potential, and Deathbro. I mean, Deathbro's quick on his day, but he can be inconsistent. Like at Australia in round 1, he had a fast teammate and they did a 1-2, but the next race they were nowhere to be seen. So, and Deathbro didn't like, he missed out on like 4 or 5 races towards the end of last season. So if Deathbro does all the races and is consistent throughout the season, he can definitely be on podiums, maybe even challenging some race wins at some tracks. So for Deathbro, I'm thinking top 5 as well in the drivers. Not sure where though. If I was to pick a number and looking at the driver lineup as it is right now, I'm gonna say maybe 3rd to 5th range for Deathbro, considering who's on the grid. 3rd to 5th range, I think on Deathbro. And so that is it for the Ferrari. Let's move on to a Red Bull. And this Red Bull team is going to be it's going to be absolute banter with this driver lineup. I can already tell what's going to happen with these two. We have Xsteel 419X and Savory of the Mince Pies, the ones with the greater gamer tag of all time, in this Red Bull. Xsteel, he left. He just gave up after Baku last season. And Savory Mince Pie, I think he ended up top 5. I think he ever took Deathbro in the driver standings. But as I said, Deathbro missed out on a lot of races towards the end of last season. So it's yeah. But constructors for Red Bull, I mean, I think Savory's gonna do no assist except line potentially. I don't know. I mean, it could, but yeah. So it's gonna be interesting how Savory does with no assist for his first full season in league racing. I think he's doing no assist in career modes at the moment, so I know it's a bit different compared to online. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see with Savory. Xsteel, everyone knows Xsteel. I think he can be quick on his day, but yeah, this is going to be a banter team to watch out for, really. I don't expect Red Bull to be on the podium much this season, just considering who's on the grid, and there are quicker drivers ahead of these two. Sorry, Xsteel and Savory, but yeah. But I'd say they could be a solid midfield team, the same as Ferrari. But I think Red Bull might be ahead of Ferrari, and I did say Ferrari could be 4th to 6th range in that mid-table battle, and this team will be challenging Red Bull to be like best of the rest, essentially. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Red Bull does. For drivers, Extel and Savory, I think both mid-table. I'm thinking like the bottom half of the top 10 and the top half of the bottom 10. So I'm thinking like anywhere in between 8 and 15. No. 8 and 12. Right about there. I can see these two be. I don't think, as I said, I don't think they'd be getting too many podiums, but I can see them getting some very, very decent points. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull does. And that's Red Bull done, so let's move on to McLaren. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at McLaren, my favourite team on the F1 grid. So, McLaren, another driver change lineup, and this team is probably going to be favourites for the constructors, considering who's in this car. We have New Zealand Ryan and DJRPT17, or better known as Penske, and these two are the defending constructors champions, mind you. These two won the constructors last season in a Toro Rosso, and now these two have made the switch to McLaren in that Renault-powered McLaren. And I gotta say, I think McLaren are the constructors' favourites. I've put them at number 1 straight away. As soon as I saw who's in what car, and I saw these two names in this McLaren team, I instantly put McLaren as number 1. They'll have a fight with Mercedes, and it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a season-long battle between McLaren and Mercedes. So we got Zombie and Jared against Ryan and Penske. So pretty two decent teams, I must say. There's not much else you can say about the battle with the constructors, really, with this team. Drivers, I've put Ryan. He's a defending champion, drivers champion as well, for the Monday side. Yeah, I've put Ryan at the top. There'll be battles galore between himself and Jared. Potentially Zombie and Penske as well. If Zombie and Penske are the number quote-unquote 2 drivers, and they can get big points and help out in the constructors, they can also help out themselves in the drivers as well, if they both can number win off the other team's number 1 driver, if that makes any sense. So what's I saying? Yeah, so I'm thinking, so I put Ryan as number 1. I think he'll go back to back. Penske, he finished 4th, I think, in season 1. And he does have a race win under his belt, but it came at the last race of the season. So, I mean, he does have potential of winning races. He's done it in other leagues. So, I'm going to say Penske is another shout for top 5 as well. I don't think I think it's going to be a lot of battles for that 3rd place, because I think 1 and 2 are going to be Ryan and Jared. I've personally put Ryan at number 1 and Jared at number 2, but I can see Jared winning this title as well. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a battle for 3rd place, really, unless we get some more quick drivers coming in. Don't know when the sign-ups are closing, but yeah. So I've put McLaren as constructors champions, Ryan as number 1, and Penske, I think 4th or 5th in the drivers. We'll move on to Renault. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at this beautiful, majestic Renault car. And this Renault team it's going to be interesting. We have Benny F1 is retained his Renault seat, and he's got a new teammate in Broken Reptile. And I don't think Reptile raced in Monday. I think he did, to be honest. I just can't remember what car he was in. I think he was in the Toro Rosso, so sorry to all the Reptile fans out there. Yeah, this team, I think it's going to be another solid midfield team. Benny had 1 podium last season, and that was at the first race of the season. He missed out on another podium later on due to a crash. But yeah, I think this team is going to be more of a midfield team. I tell you what, the midfield battle is going to be fantastic to watch. It's going to be fascinating to see who comes out on top of that. I mean, Ferrari is going to be a midfield team. Red Bull's going to be a midfield team. Sorry, and you got a Renault who's going to probably in that fight as well. All of which have different drivers, obviously, but these 3 teams have different speeds within them. So I think with Ferrari, Def is obviously quicker than Calbo. Red Bull, I say Dill and Savory are about on par potentially. Maybe Dill is maybe a little bit that quicker. And here at Renault, I think Benny might be a little bit quicker than Reptile. So I think the number 2 drivers will have to pull out a few points finishes here this season. Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to watch and to see how this midfield battle goes. Renault, I've put them as a midfield battle 4th to 6th, 7th, somewhere in that area. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how Renault goes. With regards to the drivers, I'm thinking Benny midfield in the midfield battle with Dill, Savory, Calbo, Penske Zombie potentially. So, and Reptile, I don't know with Reptile. He can pull out a good result when he wants to, but he needs to do it consistently. He needs to get those, like the bottom end of the top 10, like that 7th to 10th, even a 6th, a 5th, a potential 4th at some tracks. So with Reptile, I'm gonna say purely based on last season's result. I know it's a different game and all, and we've got 2 new tracks in this game as well, so it could be anyone's ball game. But I'm gonna say Reptile. I don't know. I think every driver on this grid currently will score points, but to put him in a position, I think Reptile might be in that 10th down potential. I don't think he'll get many points finishing this season, but when he does, he needs to do go on a streak of 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 points finishes. Even if he gets 10th every in those races, just to help out in the constructors battle. But Reptile, I'm saying potential 10th downwards. The 6th at at this point in time, there's 16 drivers. So it's like 10th to 16 at the moment. But if we get any more, that could change. But right at this moment, it's 10th to 16 for Broken Reptile. So that's it for Renault. Sorry, we spent a bit too much time on this team. We'll move on to, I guess, a new team, but not really a new team. It's just a name change. And we're here at Scuderia AlphaTauri. And this team, again, I think it's going to be another midfield team, a solid midfield team. We have Bazooka 82 and RBHR Edge. And this team, Bazooka was in a McLaren. He had 2 different teammates. And now he's got another teammate in Edge. But he's in a different car, in a Honda powered car this time. So, AlphaTauri, I think it's going to be a solid midfield team again. Bazooka is very good at qualifying. I think he got 2 poles. If not 2 poles, he did start on the front row of the grid a couple of times. I do know that. So, if he can get his race if he can do a race as good as his qualifying, I think he can get onto the podium much more than what he did last season, because he didn't score many points either, but he did qualify very high up on the grid. He dragged that McLaren up, and yeah, I think Bazooka needs to find either a balance in qualifying in the race, or drag this car up to the front of the grid like he did a couple of times last season, and have a good race as well, and not get up into any incidences, because I think he got tangled up in a couple of lap 1 incidences, especially at Canada, where he got spun around at turn 1, and I think something else happened to him at Monza as well, where he got like damaged front wing. So I know that's only 2, but there were a couple of others that I can't remember what tracks they were at. So yeah, he needs to stay out of trouble, keep it clean, keep his front wing intact, and he'll probably get top 5s probably every week. Edge. It's, what can he say about Edge? He had a podium at Bahrain, and I think that's his highest position all throughout the season. I don't think he got many points after that. I think his teammate eventually overtook him in the drivers. So Edge, I don't think he'll get a podium this time around unless he does a madness in one of the races. Yeah, I don't know with Edge. That's the thing. You don't know what you're gonna get. He could either crash out or just have a good result. So there's no in between. So you don't know. If he has a good race, it's a very good race. If he has a shocker, he's out. There's no in between. There's he doesn't battle anyone at all. Yeah, I don't know about Edge. I think he's in that 10th to 16th bracket in the drivers. Bazooka is probably in that top 10 as well. And I don't know where though. But he'll be definitely, I don't think he'll be in the top 5, but I think he'll be in that 6th to 10th range for Bazooka. Edge is in that 10th to 16th range. So, yeah, this team will be a solid midfield team. I think Bazooka will probably outscore Edge 2-1. So he might even double Edge's score, points score for this season. Sorry, Edge. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this team ends up. So yeah, I think it's more of a wait and see approach with this team. We'll keep an eye on them throughout the season and find out what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting as we move on to Racing Point, and this team only has one driver, and it's the legendary Poms for the win 87 here. And Poms, well, he was in that McLaren with Berserker. He scored his first points of the season at Singapore. Don't think he got many points after that, if any at all. But he's going to be on the wheel from the get-go. So constructors, I don't know if he can get a teammate that can help him out. I think that could be up there. It's probably, I think everybody will be fighting for third place in the constructors. I think McLaren and Mercedes will just be too far ahead. I think everybody will be fighting for third. If Poms can get a teammate, so there's a spot open here at Racing Point and be teammates with the legendary Poms for the win 87 here. It could help him out massively. Drivers, I'm gonna say where's Poms gonna be? I don't know. That's the thing. I think at the start of the season he might struggle, but as the season goes on, he'll get better. I think he'll get in the points a lot more. I think he'll probably be that 9th to. I don't know. I don't know if he can be top 10. Now, you know what? I'm going to say Poms will be in the top 10 come the end of the season. I think he'll be like... But if he's not in the top 10, it'll be very, very close. He'll probably be in that 9th to 12th bracket. So 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. In between those four positions, I think. I don't think he can get any higher than 9th, considering who's on the grid. So, yeah, I think Racing Point might be the one to watch out for if Poms can get a teammate in the constructors. I think Poms will be towards the bottom. That's due to the fact he won't have a teammate. So, if Poms can get a teammate in, he'll be absolutely cheering. So that's it for Racing Point, and no one is in this Alfa Romeo car. So there's another 2 spots open. So there's 3 spots open at the moment. So if you want to be in the Racing Point or in the Alfa Romeo, do sign up. I'll leave the website link in the description down below, so you can all sign up and be a part of this fantastic championship. We've got 3 spots open currently with Poms as teammate in the Racing Point, or be in the team with in the Alfa Romeo car. So that's it for Alpha, because there's just no one in that car. We'll move on to Haas, and Haas only has 1 person as well. So this is the 4th and final spot. So you got 1 Racing Point, you got 2 Alfa Romeo spots, and you got a Haas spot here in this fantastic Roman Grosjean car. And the lone Haas driver is actually that laggy person who literally signed up just like a matter of minutes ago before I started this commentary. So Laggy, I think he was in... Yeah, he was in Monday. I think he was more of a reserve, I do think. No, he was in the Red Bull. So, Laggy... he can be quick, but I don't think he can get top 3s every week. He can definitely get top 5s. He can score points consistently, unless he has, like, he gets caught up in an accident or something. But yeah, I think Laggy will be another midfield tier driver as well in that 6th to 10th or 5th to 10th bracket. So yeah, it's another one. I think this will be another short one, just like Racing Point, because there's only one driver. So I think it's going to be a battle between Pons and Laggy for that 8th and 9th spot, because 10th will be Alfa Romeo because no one's in that car yet. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these two will do throughout the season. If they both can get teammates in, they'll be absolutely scenes there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so as I was saying, 4 spots are open. 1 at Racing Point, 1 at Haas, and 2 at Alfa Romeo. I'll leave the link to the website in the description below. And yeah, just sign up and we can get another full grid in. It'll be absolutely fantastic to see. As we move on to the final team, we're here at Williams Racing. And it's a team of Is That Matt 039 and B Dubstep 23. I think yeah, everybody's gonna be. It's gonna be so tight between 3rd and 9th. I think McLaren and Mercedes will be running away in the constructors, so everybody's probably be playing for 3rd from the get-go, really, unless both Ryan and Jared, Penske and Zombie have disaster of races. And this team, I think, will finish 3rd. They're both quick. They're both quick-ish. They both can score points consistently, especially Matt with his 7th places every single race. And Dubstep can get high points as well. I think this pairing is probably the best of the midfield runners at this point in stage. That's just my opinion. And it's, yeah, I think this team will finish 3rd in the constructors. So as I was saying, 3rd in the constructors. I think Matt will probably be in the top 5 as well in the drivers. Dubstep probably the same as well. I actually haven't put out where I think each driver will be. I'm just guessing at this point in time because I don't know how much time everyone's played the game. So I think, in the constructors, I think this is the 3rd best team, the 3rd best team, and the best of the rest essentially. Unless Alfa Romeo just gets, like, I don't know, 2 really, really quick drivers in, then it might change then. But at this current time, I think Williams is the best pairing for that midfield battle. And I think they'll outscore everyone bar the obvious 2 of Mercedes and McLaren by a fair bit. Matt, as I said, Matt will finish top 5. Same with B Dubstep in the drivers. And and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So in the end, I've gone for. We'll do my predictions now. That way, everyone can just crucify me come towards the end of the season, say at how wrong I was. So I've got McLaren as Constructors Champions. I've got Mercedes in second and Williams in third. I have in P4. I've got Red Bull in P4. I'm doing these on the fly. So I haven't actually numbered them, so I'm going these on the fly. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so Red Bull will be... I think Red Bull will finish 4th in the Constructors, just behind Williams. 5th, I'm going to say Renault. Renault will finish 5th. 6th, I'm going to say Ferrari. So the red machine of Ferrari, I'm going to say they will finish 6th. 7th will be AlphaTauri in this beautiful car. So that leaves 8th and 9th with Racing Point and Haas. Alfa Romeo at this point in time has no one, so they're in 10th already. But I think it's going to be a battle between Pons and Laggy in the constructors battle between Racing Point and Haas. I'm gonna say Laggy will finish 8th, or the Haas will finish 8th. Racing Point will finish 9th, but it'll be closer towards the end. But I think Lag will have too much of a points gap from the start. So those are my constructors predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do subscribe to the Redline Racing League YouTube channel for all the race videos will be uploaded hopefully straight away. If not, it'll be the next day. And yeah, and follow us on Twitch as well. We're so close to 50 followers over there. To watch all the races on the Monday Night League or Monday Night side. We're going back to Saturday again. Don't know when that's going to happen, but follow us on Twitch for the start of the Monday season at Australia, starting this Monday. So follow us on Twitch. I'll leave a link to our Twitch channel in the description down below. And until next time, it is goodbye, and we'll see you at Australia for round number 1 at Australia. See ya.